It's only present to get to our seats and get started here. There, go over there, and hello, and welcome to the Kino Korner, where we talk about the best in news, trailers, and movies from a certain point of view. I am joined here with my good friend, the Kittyman 9000.
Hi, I'm Kittyman 9000. I'm his friend. He's
Today,
also my friend too. Don't tell him though. Hi, friend.
What? Wait, I'm your friend?
You're my friend.
You make me so embarrassed.
No, don't. Not in front of everyone.
Well, today is the episode Last Time in the Wheel. We're going to look back at the year, and we're starting off strong. We're finally getting that 80s horror that's been on the wheel for the entire time.
Yes, it's the beginning.
That's the beginning. Of course, before we get to it, there's a few. We're going to go through our normal, yeah, our normal programming. Got a little bit of news. Most of it's sudden. And I swear, all this came out a few days ago. And a few trailers that have kind of been sprinkled on throughout the past 2 weeks. And then we're going to talk about 80s horror. There's no way I'm going to tell you right now, no way in hell we're going to get to all of it. 80s horror is it's too big. Like, so this is probably going to be a topic to return to in a later podcast, maybe get more like specific with it. But yeah, without further ado, so let's get started. What say you, Kittyman?
I think we can get started.
Okay, we're going to talk about
I went to go do the Discord go away noise, but it wouldn't work.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Because you're strembing. I
am.
wanted to do it for the humor.
Oh, it's okay. Like, I want to do the. Oh wait, did they reactivate Nitro on lobsters? Because I want to. There's a soundboard bit on there that Alex got of me. Have you heard it yet?
I probably have.
No, it's the jiggle jiggle one.
Oh yeah, I heard it. I love it.
I wanted to play it, but like it's the server isn't Nitro boosted enough, so I can't play it. Sadness.
Fuck.
I know. Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, but I want to jump right into a little bit of news here. The first two very related, but there's been some casting announcements for some upcoming movies. The first one, Julia Garner, we're gonna see how her acting chops fare in the new Wolfman movie coming up, is cast as Silver Surfer. Mixed reactions.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh yeah, everyone was very normal, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Not a single sexist person online.
Not at all. Like, I know like the subject of just changing race and sex and whatnot is very corrosive in the fan bases.
It just feels like just on the internet in general.
Yeah. This is one of those topics. Like, this is one of those characters though. They've been guy and girl before, and it's not a character that's really defined by it, so it doesn't really matter to me. So it's just whoever, man. As long as it's a silver person, they're a herald of Galactus, and they are like a tortured soul. I guess that's
Yeah. As long as they do their job, I don't care.
yeah. Like
It could have been anyone. I don't care who they would have casted, as long as they were good.
yeah.
And I'm sure she's gonna be great.
Yeah. There's not much to say on this one specifically. More like this is probably going to be good casting, but it does. I know that there's some like news and stuff coming out about Fantastic Four, because wasn't there like early screenings or something?
No, not that I mean, there might have been test screens. I know they finished. I want to say I think they just finished. Sorry, I'm still eating.
Oh,
I think they just finished filming, I want to say. Or did they finish filming like some time ago?
here we go. Yeah, and there were some test screenings, and like most of the test screenings, people will say like, I give a positive reception. It's just the little they could tell us about it is it's not what people were generally expecting, but it's still good. And I'm like, what do you expect out of a Fantastic Four movie beyond Fantastic Four and now at this point Galactus? And so I don't know. I'm excited for it. This doesn't change anything about my hype for Fantastic Four. I'm sure she'll do
I'm
fine.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I'm excited for it.
what I am more happy about though is another casting announcement that our our boy Aquaman Jason Momoa is coming to the DCEU as Lobo.
And he's going to be in the Supergirl movie, right?
Yes, he's going to be in Supergirl, which great.
Yeah, no, I think it's perfect. I mean, like I said, I think before we talked about before we got on the podcast, like I was like, I think that should have happened forever ago.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
with
I mean,
you.
again, I liked him as Aquaman.
Yeah, I'm with you
I
there.
think he's better as a Lobo.
And part of it is just look at him. Like the dude
Yeah,
already
it's
looks like
perfect.
Lobo.
Yeah, like it's just like it might just be one of those things where it's on the same level as of perfect casting as obviously I could be proven wrong, but like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
as Tony Stark and all that stuff. Like it's just like you were born for that role.
I I think what's helping is not just that he looks like Lobo, but the from what we know about Jason Momoa on sets, he's a he's a fucking goober.
Yeah,
And
yeah, he's a goober and he just fucks around all the time, and he can absolutely take that energy and put that in a Lobo, and I'm for it.
I just can't wait for him to refer to himself as the main man is here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm excited. No,
uh
it's good casting. Good
it's
casting needed to happen.
good casting. It
And I did see that he posted image that he got the script for Supergirl, and it had just like for Lobo's eyes only and all that, and he's pretty excited to do it.
I I'm excited for everything. Like I'm excited for the new Superman movie, and I'm very excited for the Batman Brave and the Bold movie. But I'm also excited for what happens after because James Gunn, I think what he's doing with these two movies specifically, Superman and Batman, because we know the stories, we know the origin stories, so let's just use those to set up the world and then delve into specifics of the stuff after. So like I think Supergirl movie is literally just going to be like Lobo taking a bounty for Supergirl or Superman, and that's probably it. Like, and that's all it needs to be,
Probably,
really. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I'm needlessly hyped for the DCEU. Like, I watched the Superman trailer again when I was walking through like reviews and stuff for the podcast,
uh
no, my feelings have not changed. I'm hyped as fuck. Haters be damned.
yeah, no, I'm excited for they showed it before Sonic 3, and I'm just like, God, I'm just so fucking excited for that movie.
Oh,
I'm really, and especially after finishing up Creature Commandos just finished up
I need to
its
finish
season.
that.
I'm really excited. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to sit down and we'll give that a watch.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Creature Commandos. I've I watched the first episode and I've seen a few clips of stuff that happens later. I'd always cut it off like before I was like, oh shit, this probably seems important. So the only like actual clip I saw of substance was Rick Flag Sr. just having these weird bro conversations with Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. Oh, I can't wait for you to see all that.
that character just seems like a lot and I'm here for it.
Yeah, he's a character.
Yeah. All right. Now,
Frankenstein's a character, and that's all. I'll keep it at that because there's a lot that goes into that.
all right. But now the next bit of news, the next two slides relate to each other, but I want to talk about separately because one of these things I'm generally hyped for. The rest I'm kind of I get what you're doing. I'll wait to see what we're doing. One, the general news is that Sony is just suddenly and randomly announced we're doing all these projects. We're just throw shit at the wall. We know why they can't really do the Spider-Man movies anymore. So they're like, shit, we need another golden goose. Now, the one that excites me is that Ghost of Tsushima is getting the animated series. And did
As it
you
should.
ever see the Star Wars Visions?
Yeah. Yeah,
The,
yeah, 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 yeah. I know that the guy that did that really cool one,
yeah,
you're right, the really cool one. Yeah, that narrows it down.
the
The samurai
Duel.
episode.
Yeah. The guy who did that episode is going to do the animation for Ghost of Tsushima. No fucking notes. Like, I wouldn't have picked anybody else to do it.
Yeah, no notes. Let him cook
Yeah, just
because that episode was fucking awesome.
now what I want to know though is like it's going to be a series. Is this going to be just retelling the game? Because I love the game, and I'm probably going to be super picky and super just judgmental if that's the case. But
Knowing Sony's track record, they'll probably make him do that.
probably, like, honestly, what I would like them to do with this series, since we know Jin Sakai and played the game, I'd like this to be a brief series talking about what happens on Tsushima after the events of the game, where he's not bogged down by just fighting for his uncle. It's basically just the ghost fighting Mongols and talking to more people.
They could they could turn it into a horror movie from the Mongol side, and they make him into a fucking
Dude,
like.
that would be sick though.
If they aren't fucking around, I feel like that's something they should do.
I
And
mean,
make it an anthology series.
dude, okay. Actually, that could work. Just basically, it's retelling the game, but each episode is like anthology from the perspective of somebody else on Tsushima. Like, oh, this is the
Yeah.
perspective of like a fisherman. Oh, all I know is this dude showed up. The Mongols are dead. My fish are thriving. Perspective from the
Mm-hmm.
Mongols. All of my friends are dead. Just,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like they can make you have some episodes that are like, oh, that's really wholesome, and that's what what Jin Sakai stands for as a character is really really awesome. Or then you have other episodes from the Mongols' point of view, and it's a fucking horror movie.
yeah, like I'm excited for everything this could be, and just my inner fanboy because I love Ghost of Tsushima. I'm just like, oh wow, this could. I want to see animated samurai kill Mongols. Yay!
I still have yet to play the game. I'm probably gonna pick it up on PC at some point in the future,
Oh, dude,
whenever it decides to go down in price. Because I really enjoyed whenever I watched what little you played.
it, it is a game that just take your time with it. Just take your time.
Mhm.
Rewards exploration. Do all of the side missions. Oh, oh, I love like there is some side missions that just break you emotionally. Just ah,
Oh boy.
there's
Yeah, I heard. I know Butch had to like take his time and actually had to take a break on that because he was just like, dude, like this game got like really, really like depressing after a little bit.
yeah, like there is a solid chunk of the game, like at the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, where it gets just depressing.
Yeah.
It just it just the emotions are gonna run rampant, and it's just sadness, pain, uh
Cephawing.
suffering for the samurai. Yeah, I don't know. They're but like I said, this I'm excited for Ghost of Tsushima, but this is part of a larger story. Like they announced other properties, other things, other games that are getting live action adaptations. I was trying to find a thumbnail or this make one that had the big ones that were announced. Couldn't find all three. Have settled with this, but we have a Horizon Zero Dawn. Was it a series or a movie?
I am pretty sure it was a movie
Yep, it was a movie. It
because
is.
fuck it, why not? Because Horizon Zero Dawn is the most industry plant game I've ever seen.
You are not the first person to say those exact words to me.
I think it is, dude. Like Sony shoves that game so hard for no fucking reason, and it's just like it is so like it just seems so mid tier.
Like,
Like I think it's got some great ideas, and because I've watched people play it, and it's just like I like what they're doing with this game, but it's like every time that when the first game and the sequel came out, it was overshadowed by another way better game. But Sony just keeps wanting to push this game like it is like this iconic series. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
What do you do that's so cool?
I don't know. Like, I'll be honest, like Horizon Zero Dawn, like just that franchise has interested me, and it's never been a story thing. It's literally because robot dinosaurs, and
Right, that's cool.
that's it. That's literally it. Like,
Like again, like I was like, I think it's got some great ideas, and like, and you know, I'm not gonna shit on anyone who likes those games. If you played them and you like them, hell yeah, more power to you. I can't, and I feel like I really can't say much because I also haven't touched those games either. But they just seem like it is not doing anything new. It
yeah,
just seems like Shadow of the Colossus RPG with big dinosaur robots.
yeah. That's where I'm kind of at, where I don't know what I would compare it to if I played it, because Shadow first, like you mentioned, Shadow Colossus, one of my favorite games of all fucking time. So that's gonna be present in my
Right.
head. But I also play a lot of survival games, and the biggest comparison I can think of there is Ark. So
Right.
I don't know. Is it going to be more like one or the other? Like, is it just going to be a story thing? I have no idea. But of course, that there's the whole life gets in the way. I never, whenever I have money, other things happen, or I want another game. It's always been kind of low in my priority totem pole. Um, so I guess I hope the movie is good. But considering, again, you are not the
Hey, if
first.
it sways me,
Yeah, you're not the first
yeah.
person to say that specifically that game is an industry plant, which is that is notable in my head.
Like because like they fucking released that Lego version of it too.
Yeah, like
And it
that.
was multi-platform and all that stuff, and it was just like, what? Who fucking asked for that, man? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't think maybe those games did really well, and maybe it's just a very quietly like
A sleeper hit.
appraised game. But I have not seen that game do anything overwhelmingly like groundbreaking.
I
Because like when
haven't
the first
either.
game came out, it came out right next to fucking Breath of the Wild. When the sequel came out, it came out right next to Elden Ring. And
Yeah,
so it's just like,
it's literally just corporate bigwigs, guys. I mean, there's other games, guys.
play our game. Come on. Like, it's just what it boils down to with Sony. It's just fucking Sony.
Oh, fucking said it. Now, the other two movies, like I'm more open to seeing, but I'm not exactly hyped because it all depends on execution. One is Until Dawn. I feel for Until Dawn the same way I feel about the Last of Us show. It's probably going to be good, and if it's good, it's cheating because it's already a story based game.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna praise if it's good. I'm not gonna praise them for doing the bare minimum. Like, but conversely, if
But
they,
apparently,
yeah,
it's going to be its own story. It's not going to be adapting from the game. And
okay,
the only person returning to actually be the same character is the therapist guy.
okay,
That actor
so
is coming
they're
back for it.
so they're keeping the general, like the broad strokes of the story, but they're condensing it and keeping the tone for the Until Dawn movie.
Apparently, it's just going to be its own thing. Like, it's not
Oh,
even going to be
oh,
anything like no, story wise, it's not even going to be from the game.
okay. So that I didn't know. I
Yeah,
that makes me
that's what I
feel
read.
a little bit better, but then makes me curious. Like, well, why call it Until Dawn? Whatever. But
In name only, I guess.
I guess I want to see a trailer to see what it's about. But the other one I want to be hyped for, and there's a part of me that is ready to just get bursted out hyped for is Helldivers 2. Oh, good gravy. I want.
God, it because it's Sony. I'm not holding my breath.
I'm not either.
You know,
And that's like it's not hard. It's not it's so simple what they have to do. You ever seen Starship Troopers? Just make the whole thing a fucking propaganda film about Super Earth and shooting bugs. Fucking money. That's literally all you have to do, please.
yeah.
Just make it campy. Make it stupid. Make the guy who was at the Game Awards and in the trailer just have him cameo going, "Sweet Liberty." fucking there.
Yeah.
Like, you, yeah, you have all the pieces there to make something dumb, action packed, and just campy as all hell and glorious.
Yeah.
Everything is just
No, you can. It, I want them to not fuck around. You know what the source material is. Just go ham with it, dude. Like, do not sit there and just adapt it in name only and then try to make it like a super serious,
oh
movie where it's just like don't do that. It's just like it just wear it squarely on your shoulders what you are trying to do.
like if I see a trailer for Helldivers 2 and it's as serious as some of the trailers like later today, like fucking or as serious as something like the fucking Warhammer episode of Secret Level, I'm just not gonna watch the movie because that's not what Helldivers
Right.
is. Like,
Don't even get me started on that fucking final episode.
okay, I haven't seen the second half of Secret Level yet, so I need to. Like, I've heard surprisingly little, other than that the Mega Man episode is good, and no one's really kind of. It feels like everyone's just kind of ducking behind, like, hey, you want to talk about Secret Level? Like it started out great and then just kind of went by the wayside. Is that about right?
It just was too short and nothing happens.
Uh, Understandable.
Like it had a great. It was basically like it was the culmination of what I had an issue with Secret Level to begin with, and it's just me being a jaded bastard, is that it is literally just advertisements for these games.
Yeah.
And that one was probably the most
Egregious.
go play our game kind of show of all of those almost. And it was straight up just look how cool this is. Look, it's got a cool art style too, because we're actually doing something different with it, unlike the ultra realistic like the rest of all these other episodes. But it's probably the shortest one, and that's about it. And it just kind of leaves off on this is how you become the Mega Man. You're Mega Man now. And roll credits.
Really? The Mega Man one is the one that's oh wow.
And
Okay.
it's like, it's like I want to not be like spoilery about it, but I'm like, you're literally it's a waste of your time.
Damn. Like I still want to see it. Like I'm probably gonna get some stuff from
Oh, definitely give it a go regardless, and see what you think about it. But the thing about those, like the second batch of episodes was probably my least favorite. There was maybe one or two episodes that I really enjoyed, but for the most part, there was a lot of episodes in the second batch where I was like, I actually straight up probably hate some of these actually.
there's still a few I remember that like loving in the first half. Like I love the what was that Keanu Reeves mech one?
Armored Core.
Armored Core. I love the Armored Core one. I love the Pac-Man one. And
Oh yeah.
I don't
Oh
even
yes.
remember the name of the game, but the Arnold Schwarzenegger one just cracks my shit up.
That was fucking
New World? No.
what was it? New World.
It was New World. Okay.
Yeah, New World. New World. That was a good time.
That was like I I hope Sony looks at the legitimate criticisms of Secret Level and takes it to heart because Sony they can do good stuff. It's just
Uh-huh.
uh it's like more so than any other company, Sony will do like one thing right and then just like, oh, this works, and just shit out.
Yeah.
I
They assume that the name of an IP is going to be enough for people to give it a go and assume it's going to be good.
yeah.
And it just doesn't work like that. No, you actually have to put effort into it and it actually be good. You can't just venom it and
Yeah.
assume people are going to be okay with these. I'm sorry, Venom's really mid, dude. Like, ugh.
Look,
And
I'm
I
not.
haven't seen Last Dance, but I heard good things about Last Dance. But like those movies are like on the I think I've mentioned this. They're on the same level as like the early 2000s like Daredevil Marvel movies and stuff. Like
Ooh.
I will.
Is
No, I'll die on that hill. I think it's on the same level as that, and I'm tired of fucking people who are like Venom's the
oh
best thing ever.
no.
No, it's not, dude. It's fucking below mid tier.
Oh no, is Sony the new Fox?
You know what? Yes.
Oh no, Sony's the new Fox.
Oh, nar,
Oh,
Sarny,
oh,
nar.
nar. Oh,
But yeah, no, it just come on, you gotta put a little effort into it, dude. Like, did you watch Madam Web?
I've only seen clips, and good God, the ADR on that one character just oh
Ooh, that's not even the least worst part of that movie
oh
either.
man.
Because like the ADR is rough, but there's just a lot wrong with that. Me and Bree sat there and she, I don't even think she was even watching it. I think she only reacted whenever I would react to how stupid some of the shit happens in that movie. Um, but that movie's bad. It is bad, bad. But I do appreciate Dakota Johnson not giving a single fuck in that movie because I love that part. The woman that plays Madam Web in that
Yeah,
movie, and she's just uninterested, and the acting shows in it too. But I love it.
I could tell that from the trailer that she showed about as much emotion as Christian Stewart, and it's like, oh damn.
Yeah, as much emotion as Kristen Stewart in the Twilight movies, which I actually went back and watched, by the way. Fuck, that movie's great. Not in the best way. But we can get to that later. But yeah, no, I just Sony can and do stuff like as we could see with like Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I
If you
think
just let people cook and actually let people take their time and all that stuff, you can get some banging films.
I hope that's the listen they take. And I mentioned it a bit the last time we had our year in review. Like, I think this is a good year for movies, and the movies coming out in 2025. To me, it's starting a trend where I think studios are learning the hard way that if they want a movie to be successful, like, they have to just let creators be creative,
Yeah.
and they don't need to throw $10 million at it. I said it back then. I'll say it now. That joke in Smiling Friends is one of the most accurate and sad fucking jokes ever. They replace Mr. Frog with Gleb, and he's like, "Why don't people love this? We put $20 million into this."
But all this works. It's I thought we saved it. What the heck?
Yeah, like that's literally the state of studios nowadays. Like, but money, like, and yet apparently there was a big stir at the fucking Golden Globes how like one of the year was an independent film like called Flow or something.
Or
I
people
don't.
got I only know about one little bit of the Golden Globes that people were upset about, and I don't remember it being Flow. I didn't hear about that actually.
Yeah, apparently I guess I don't know what award it won, but it was like someone expected, and they're like, "Why didn't any of these films?" And I'm like, to be fair, as soon as it announced that one, people looked at it and realized, "Oh, damn, this is actually really good." So in a weird way, that added legitimacy to the Golden Globes, in my opinion. That's when everyone's like, "Wait a minute, did this really win?" Oh shit, yeah, it's good.
Oh,
but
okay, cool. All right.
yeah, but we have like I'll always, and I'm gonna keep referring to it. Don't being the dead horse, but for God's sakes, Godzilla minus one, 15 million fucking dollars. Like an
Yeah.
independent film won like film of the fucking year. Like it is now starting to hit their wallets. It's now starting to hit the main scene. Like, hey, we don't need you to put a lot of money in every movie. It's fine with Marvel films and certain things. That's whatever. But like, you don't need to. We just want a good movie more than anything. Like, I hope they realize that Horizon Zero Dawn. It doesn't need to. I don't know the story, but I can tell you right now that it doesn't need to be just bombastic special effects all fucking movie long.
Mm.
Like if they just have like an hour and a half of just just establishing the character, establishing the conflict, and just most of it is just set design and uh, God, I guess costume design. That's the word I was looking for. Costume,
Yeah.
and they just have like a few scenes in like second or third act with those big ass cybernetic animals, like a big fight scene.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that would save them money. It would still cost them probably like a one or two, 100 million, two hundred
Yeah, a
million
good
dollars,
amount. Yeah.
but it would be considerably less than otherwise, and they would allow them, the director and writers, more time to actually flesh out characters and do what people have been asking them to.
Mm,
Like it's not about how much money, it's about how they use the money, and I feel like that's starting to stick, if only a little bit. And I hope that's true for the sake of all these game adaptations, because I want Helldivers to be good. I'm curious about Until Dawn. I'm hyped for Ghost of Tsushima animated show. They have my attention, so just deliver, please.
right.
I guess that's a good way to segue into, well, not really a segue, but a good way to move away from that before I start going down another rabbit hole. To talk about some of the trailers. This is going to pull a little bit away from the superhero video game stuff and kind of bridge the gap a little bit to our main topic, because most of the trailers, shy of one, are pretty horror adjacent.
Uh,
So let's talk about one that doesn't. Okay, well, In the Lost Lands. Did you watch this weird ass trailer?
no, didn't get a chance to watch a lot of the trailers. I'll be honest.
Okay,
I meant to though, but do explain.
I don't. Okay, this one I don't know if I can. I started watching it. It's like a post-apocalyptic world, and I first was joking in my head like, oh, it's just Dave Bautista in Fallout. But then they started doing like all these like weird little skeleton vampire mutant things, and there's like all these really weird stylized shots, and it started ringing me like it's more like Dave Bautista's Fallout Pitch Black Sucker Punch.
What was it called?
In the Lost Lands. Like it starts out, you're like, oh, I think I know where this movie's gonna go, and just you see all these weird shots and all these weird effects. It looks
Oh
cool.
no, this one's Paul W.S. Anderson's new movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, no. So this one I did see,
yeah.
and
It's
I'm
it's
gonna
a
watch it.
trip. I mean, I want to watch it too, but like the trailer had me go from like, oh, okay, this seems good. It's just Dave Bautista's Fallout, and then just all this weird shit happens. I'm like, the fuck is going on? Why is the last shot a werewolf fighting a hawk? What the fuck?
I don't know, man, but it just I'm here for it, dude.
Oh, brain hurty, but brain want more. Brain hurty, but brain want more. Uh, Also, can we just say Dave Batista is like a shockingly good actor?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Like I
Like
know,
I know he was really excited to be like taken seriously as an actor. And I think it was I forgot I think it was who's the actor or the director of Dune and all that stuff.
oh fuck, uh,
Um he basically told him because I know he worked with him first on Blade Runner 2049 and it was like, dude, like I think you're a fucking phenomenal actor and you need to keep up with it because like he felt really like kind of discouraged because he kind of felt like he was falling into the what is it, the whole like
the
that was a wrestler turned actor kind of thing and all that
yeah,
stuff and
where John Cena starting to like lay comfortably, and
yeah,
the Rock has failed to escape from. In my
yeah,
opinion,
poor Rock,
like
Dwayne Johnson.
he's at the top level of all those, but Dave Batista, I think, yeah, he can break away to actually do more. I mean, he was great in Dune. He looks like he's gonna do
Yeah,
great in this. Like,
yeah,
like I, let's be real. A lot of this did come not just from his wrestling, but when James Gunn decided, let's give this guy a shot in a fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, that fucking shot his career to the fucking moon. And I'm so glad they that then allowed him to give him a chance on Dune, because like it's just
Hmm.
I he looks like he's doing a great fucking job in this movie. The I again in this trailer, no one is doing a bad job acting wise from what I can tell.
Yeah.
If I have any gripe on the movie, it's just like, holy shit, there's a lot going on. This seems a bit confusing, but I'm kind of here for it. That's kind of too like
I'm fully expecting Paul W.S. Anderson nonsense where it's just like it's purely style over substance. Also, my wife is in it.
also my wife is in it.
It's just what his Resident Evil movies were essentially. It's just
Yeah,
like,
you're not wrong.
and I wish I was.
I mean, they're
I
doing
really wish I was.
they're not doing bad though. Like, I guess part of it is just I immediately equated just this idea when I saw fucking Dave Batista with like 6 shooters and like a deserty post-apocalypse. My first thought was Fallout, and that's a habit I think I need to start breaking, to attributing like all these new ideas with old ones.
But then Fallout
But
happened.
then Fallout happened, which
It's Fallout.
it's like no, like I said, this movie is a lot. It's like it's from George R. R. Martin, so there is a good chance that one of the two main characters is
It
gonna
could slap,
die. Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll
or
slap.
that too.
Or Porque lo nos dos. But
Why not? Why not?
like this movie, I encourage everyone to watch the trailer because there's not much I could say to really explain how weird this trailer is, but I'm here for it. Like a lot happens, and actually, you know what? I would say this is
It
a
is a
good
lot to take in.
it's a good trailer, because I know a common complaint in modern trailers is they give away the movie. This one didn't give a. This one gave us a lot of information. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
And I still don't know what the fuck's happening.
I like I don't know. These two characters are traveling, but they might be fighting, and like there's a real werewolf fighting a hawk. Dave Batista has revolvers. Fuck it.
Because why not? You
Yeah,
know, fuck it.
I yeah. It's a good. It got me interested without telling me what's going to happen, so I'd mark that as a good fucking trailer.
Yeah. It might be a fun popcorn flick. It might
Oh
be
yeah,
absolute ass. We'll see.
oh, absolutely. Now the next trailer on our docket. I can't remember what order I did these in. Oh right, I should have done this one last. Oh, I know why I did this one last. But Hard Eyes. What do you think of this trailer?
I don't know.
I was ready to. So
I didn't get a chance to
I'm not.
heart eyes.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest into slashers, or just horror movies in general. This movie, I on on one side, I'm glad that they're trying something new. I know there's always like these themed killers, like the Black Christmas, the Killer Santa. There's not really a holiday killer for Valentine's Day, really. So Hard Eyes
My Bloody
basically,
Valentine is probably the only one,
yeah.
but they're Canadian.
But
No,
yes, that's
not that there's anything wrong with that.
apparently I have a sacrilegious opinion, and I like the remake of My Bloody Valentine.
No, actually, the remake is actually a good time, and it's weird because it's like a remake sequel.
Yeah, that's I think that's kind of why I like it. Like the first one isn't bad. It's just the remake sequel thing that happened later isn't bad either. Like they could both be good. Not, mm, but that one I don't consider an actual Valentine's thing. It's more of just a killer minor.
Okay, so I just watched the Red Band trailer because it's like a minute long.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
like it's gruesome as fuck. Some of
I'm
it
for
is
slashers.
not for slashers. Some of it seems tropey, but I guess the part what I want to get to at this one, I feel like this is I think everyone's trying to capture this weird magic we had in the 80s, like a lot of horror directors are, where they want the next horror icon. Like,
Yeah.
and they're trying to make their people as unique as possible, and they're building the villain based around their film, their idea, as opposed to what they should be doing is making a cool character and building a movie around them.
Uh-huh.
Like, because outside of the heart eyes, is there anything unique about this killer?
He does the killing and doesn't afraid of anything.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I don't see it really doing much of.
I don't like. I know I have a friend who loves horror movies. Lex, she did not like this trailer at all. I could
Yeah.
see why. Like, it's kind of whatever to me. But I think it's worth noting that a lot of people are trying to really capture that what we had in the 80s. They're really trying to make like the next Freddy Krueger, the next Jason Voorhees. There's been some success with that. As much as I probably won't ever really watch the Terrifier movies as much as other people I know will. I don't know. I don't like gruesome bloody horror for the sake of gruesome bloody schlock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's just not for me. But that being said, I do recognize Art the Clown. I think is like the 2020s horror icon, at least for now.
Yeah.
Like
No, for sure.
like he just kind of is. Like he worked his way. The filmmakers made just these fun movies with him. They put in the work that all these studios are not doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, it's a fine trailer. It'll probably make its money and just end up on Shutter or something, maybe
Oh, for
Netflix.
sure.
And I guess even though I don't like slashers, I wish they put more into it because the concept it's a simple enough concept I can get behind. Like, oh, someone's killing couples on Valentine's Day. It's like, oh, it's just a forlorn lover. This sounds like something right out of like the 70s or 80s, just in
Yeah.
concept alone. But like the execution and trailer, just I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. It's missing that little bit of a spice, you know?
Uh-huh. It just seems like generic
Yeah.
um slasher that is just like for the modern age.
Yeah. Like, you know that weird wave of horror movies that we got kind of at the end of the 2010s? Well, like actually all throughout the 2010s. Like it has some YouTuber horror movies like Smiley and then all the direct to video bullshit you see at Walmart.
Uh-huh.
Like it,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
this literally looks like a slightly upper budget version or higher budget version of those movies. Like just
That I don't know if it's I wouldn't say it's that bad looking.
well,
Is there a lot of vitriol with
no. Here's the thing: those
this
movies are not seen as bad. They're just kind of seen as just a dime a dozen, another drop in the bucket.
Oh, okay.
And this one seems
And
like,
that's what this one kind of seems.
yeah, like it's another drop in the bucket, but there's more money and probably better actors involved in it. Like I said, it's probably going to do fine, and I can't find any, and personally can't find anything egregiously wrong with it. It's just I don't feel this idea and everything just I don't feel it's capturing the any level of uniqueness. It's not drawing people in.
Uh-huh. Hey, it's got its audience one way or another.
Oh, for sure. Like I know Megan's getting a sequel. I think
Uh-huh.
Smile. I'm glad it got a sequel, even though apparently I'm cursed with the Smiles franchise about seeing the fucking final scene before the movie fucking comes out. I don't know why.
Oh man, that sucks,
I'm two
dude.
for two, baby. I don't. I
Yeah.
don't.
So luckily I haven't so I mean I didn't work at the theater whenever the second one came out, so I was luckily able to stay away from spoilers for that one. But honestly, the stuff for the first movie, I think I've definitely said this story before where I was just kind of like, I was doing my usual going through the theaters and doing theater checks and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And it was towards the end of the movie and the reveal there as I'm just kind of minding my own business, kind of walking through. I was like, what the fuck? And I
Yeah.
was like, I need to watch this movie now. And I still haven't yet, but good God, that fucking reveal was.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh my God, that I really like the monster design, and that's all I'm gonna say on that because
I do too.
goddamn,
It's unique.
it's freaky. I love that it's a practical effect. No notes.
Oh, let's clarify a little bit. So I think the trailer is weird and cheesy, but I can see it potentially having more slasher vibes. But you're right; it's definitely missing a piece. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's just
I'm wondering if like we're watching different like are we talking about like the actual original trailer for that? Because I watching the Red Band trailer looked like a good time.
so I didn't watch the Red Band trailer, so I might watch. And also, here's the thing. I am this is a personal opinion. I'm not the biggest slasher guy.
Uh-huh.
Like I like certain slasher movies well enough. Like I do like the original Halloween. I do like some of the Friday the 13th movies, but if you just
Right.
kind of get to a lot of these generic slasher movies, I don't know, they just don't do it for me. They have to do something unique, something to latch on to me for like it. I don't need much. Like
Right, because you know what they are. I
yeah,
mean, what the intent behind them is, and all that stuff. And
I don't know. I might
it's
have to yeah.
they really do come off as like bottom of the barrel, like you said. It's just like
Yeah.
it's especially like a lot of those. Let's be honest, a lot of the Friday the 13th films are kind of like that.
You know,
Although they would have been a lot more entertaining if the fucking MPAA wasn't a piece of shit and made them cut so much of that stuff.
yeah, actually, really thinking about it, I think it's not that the movie itself looks bad. Because again, like some of the kills they get, that's the idea they have. They're taking it very seriously. Part of it looks good. I think just if horror, the last few years have been very unique for horror movies. Like we've had some good horror movies. Apparently, like Megan's been doing pretty good. Smile series, it's been good. But
Uh-huh. Five Nights at Freddy's
Five Nights at
is
Freddy's.
fantastic.
That movie is for the fans. I don't care. It's fun, but like
Yeah.
it's. I mean, they had the VHS movies, which I need to sit down and watch because I've watched a few segments and just apparently they said, oh yeah, they use practical effects in all of them, and like what the fuck? How did those go over my radar? But there's been all these unique horror movies, and then you have this one that's just kind of there. Like this one doesn't look bad, but like it, it's just basically entering a room full of other franchises that are trying something new, and it's just kind of yeah, I'm here, guys. You know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, if you like the trailer, you like slashers, and this could be up your alley. It's not what I'm looking for personally, and if I were to look at this as objectively as I can, it just doesn't look like it's going to do anything groundbreaking, but I am open to being wrong. I love being wrong about a movie potentially being bad or mid. What say you, Mr. Kittyman?
I think movies were a mistake. No, but like, no. I'll probably give it a go. Like, I guess I'll have to go and watch like the actual trailer for this because like I feel like the Red Band was short and sweet. And I'm like, oh okay, all right, let's see what this does. And then like I guess like the actual trailer for this is not too
Yeah.
good.
No. Again, it's not that it doesn't look good. It's just kind of again like
Oh, because that was a teaser and that was like 2 months ago. The actual trailer
yeah.
is a whole different thing. I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah,
I'll go back and watch the
there's
actual
some good
trailer.
shots in the trailer. Like you know what? I'm gonna give the movie some credit about one of the jump scares in the movie is in the trailer, where basically you have like a couple like making out in a bed. A girl goes to get something, open the closet, the killer's there. Instead of doing the obvious joke, she notices it right away, closes the closet, and both her and the boy's like, "Okay, we gotta fucking go," and just go down and they close the closet, try to block it, and just the fucking machete or knife, whatever he has, just breaks through the door, and he just starts breaking through, and they're actually. They're like, oh yeah, it's time for a good time. No, fuck that, and just go like, okay, that's a well done kind of just. They don't do the stupid. They don't go stupid with it. They actually they present it in a way that's actually kind of jump scary. Again, it's just it looks fine. It has a good scene in it. Just I want to see another trailer. Maybe and hey, I want to rewatch it again. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something on the first viewing, and I'm the asshole. But yeah, I don't know. But there are the other two trailers I want to talk a little more about because they do have my attention.
And those are.
The first is Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare.
See, I actually didn't know they came out with the trailer for that one.
Okay. This trailer
Is that from the Pooniverse?
yeah, it's from the Pooniverse.
Okay.
This trailer, it is almost upsetting how good this trailer is.
So, did those Winnie the Pooh movies like make like a lot of money back?
Apparently, because I swear, because I know they made a lot of money back in the sequel. Got like they upped the kills, they upped the effects. Because love it or hate it, like Tigger and Pooh and the rest, and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 look creepy as fuck and just great.
What
And
fucking name is Nevin Curley? What stupid ass fucking name is that? Why would you name your child? I'm sorry, I'm watching the trailer for the Neverland right now, and the fucking kid's name is
yeah, yeah,
Nevin Curley. But for why? You of course you let that kid die. You named him Nevin Curley. He fucking deserved it.
like no, like this trailer though, like you could tell when some scenes later in the trailer, and it's like some of the shots of the killer that like, oh, they didn't have to go ham with the effects, so they really just went ham on like set dressing and costumes, and just certain sequences which are going to be later where this film might be supernatural or Peter Pan might actually have a captured fairy. I don't know.
Do you think Tinkerbell's in on it? Is that why?
Yeah, dude, I don't know what to think, but they straight up went the child kidnapper black phone route with this fucking thing, and I'm like, oh
Uh-huh.
damn. I This film looks legitimately creepy, and they didn't have it. It's good because they could have named it anything other than Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. It could just be the story of just a child kidnapper, like supernatural child kidnapper. I'm like, oh, that's good. But because it's like not terrible, it's kind of upsetting. It's like this can't be in the same universe as the fucking Winnie the Pooh slasher movie. This can't be.
Those movies had to make some crazy ass money back because like the production value between this and like the first Pooh movie is like
Night and day.
day and night. Yeah.
Now, now, granted, like I know I just said, like that hard eyes looks kind of like bog standard. This one, in a lot of ways, I could say the same thing about it because there are some scenes that seem to play it safe. However, this one has an advantage. Lex, you need to watch Lex, I'm telling you, the trailer for this one isn't bad. I don't know if the movie's gonna be good, but like it's almost upsetting how good this trailer is compared to the last two, and that's the advantage this film has, is because our expectations were so low with the Winnie the Pooh movies, and then you have this, and all of a sudden, our low expectations are blown out of the fucking water.
Yeah.
So,
Like it has no right like the difference in production value of just like I was like, oh god, those movies made money back, and this is what we have to deal with now.
so I know I said when like a while ago we were talking about these. If I were to watch any one of these movies, I'd probably pick Bambi or Pinocchio for the just for the fun of it. So
Yeah.
honestly, based off of what's out now, this might be the one I watch because it, it looks kind of good. Like not even as a joke, just like damn, this actually could be a really fucking creepy movie. What the
And to
fuck?
be fair, that could have been all the good shots they have in the movie, and the rest of the
Yep.
movie's probably hot garbage, you know?
Oh, that's
So, I
entirely
mean, again,
possible.
yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Like I'll happily rent it. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. Cause like, hey, good marketing is good marketing. I'll rent the movie as a reward for that. Fuck it.
Yeah.
uh, I don't know. Like I don't know if I'll see it, but damn, this trailer made me really consider it. Like,
Uh-huh.
fuck, dude. Now the the last movie I want to talk about. Apparently, the show's been up for a few days. I only kind of latched onto it yesterday. Watched it a few times today. Is a movie called Companion.
I'm interested.
Have you seen that trailer?
I did. I loved that trailer because I was just like, oh boy, the Notebook. Great. I'm so excited. And Barbarian. Wait a minute. What the fuck? And then the rest of the fucked up shit starts happening in the trailer.
And they explain like what's happening, like what with this character in the trailer. But that does, but it's such an outlandish explanation. It doesn't explain where this movie is going at all,
Yeah.
and I
And I'll watch
love
anything with
that.
Jack Quaid in it.
Oh yeah,
I
like,
love Jack Quaid, dude. I'm like, oh, he's in it? All right, let's watch it. I don't even give a fuck.
especially because this one he seems to be kind of a almost a scumbag in this one.
Yeah, I know, an absolute fucking psycho.
Just for those who haven't seen the trailer, these for some reason or another, probably for murder, probably for something else, it's not clear. They jailbreaked a sex bot, and now the sex bot is getting like I guess more sentience and understanding what they're using her for, and just crazy shit goes down, man. I love the last shot in the trailer where you just have those two gay dudes talking. You're just like, oh no, worries, she's just in bed, and she just kind of walks out of the apartment covered in blood like this and runs around. And you're
Yeah.
like, Todd. You're like, come on, dude, I'm on the phone. It's just, there's an air of like comedy with this, and I have to appreciate. Like,
It's very much, I could definitely see this. It's just a dark comedy.
yeah, like, but this is to me doing what Hard Eyes didn't do. Like, do something different, do something unique. Like, don't be afraid to be crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like
Just go with it.
yeah,
Just roll with it, man.
yeah. And again, Hard Eyes could be really good. I don't know. It's just maybe I'm just something I'm not seeing. I'm not. I don't have the best eyes for slasher. I have an eyes for stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I look at Companion like, okay, this looks kind of good, and then it gets to properly mixing in the stupid comedy with the action and the violence. Could be a little fucked
Hmm.
up, a little bit existentialism. Like there's a lot here. Like I'm here for it. I didn't get to see a lot of movies recently. I missed a few things in theaters, but I'm committed that this year I'm going to just start at least once a month after starting February because January is going to be weird for other reasons. But I'm going to try to see a movie once a month just to get on that train. But
I think you should see a movie twice a month.
if I have enough movie passes for
Bam.
it.
No, no, no.
I mean, there's some that I'm going to see this year. Like I'm going to see Fantastic Four. I'm going to see Captain America. Like there's a lot of movies I'm going to see this year because I'm fucking locked in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This movie is this coming out this year? Companion? Delivered?
Yes. I think it's coming out like the next couple months.
When is it? Oh wait, it's coming out at the end of the month. Oh,
Well, then there we go.
oh shit. So
Yeah. Wow. January 31st. Yeah. Look at
first weekend of that's a Valentine's movie right here,
that. Yes, sir. I'm going to take Bree to go see it.
dude. I apparently like Nosferatu. Like I'm gonna kick this off. Let's talk about like new and recent films. I haven't seen it yet, but
I did.
The word I know I've mentioned this to you, my coworker said it, I've heard more. This word phrase has come up way too much, and I'm kind of curious. The the common word to describe the no Nosferatu is horny.
Yes,
What the fuck?
you nailed it. It is a horny movie.
Is it the true
Surprisingly horny.
is it the true Valentine's vampire movie?
No, that's Twilight. But yeah, no, no. No, it's I would say it's a true one. I was just very surprised that like it ended up being as horny as it was. I mean, it was a great movie. It was beautifully shot and all that stuff. I just wasn't expecting some of the stuff in the movie to happen.
Do you get to see vampire peen?
A little bit.
Oh fuck! Oh no,
There
that
is a
was a
shot.
joke. Oh no!
In actuality, the Nicholas Holt actually has the prosthetic of Nosferatu's penis of Count Orlok framed and was sent to him by Robert Eggers,
What the fuck?
because in a scene when he's being attacked, he was like joked, was like, "Oh, dude, I can like feel like the because Bill Skarsgård is like in full body cast, and he was like, I can feel the prosthetic like dick against me during that." And Robert Eggers thought that was funny, so he actually got it framed and sent to him.
What the fuck? Oh
So
my god!
yeah, I think he like posted a picture. It's hilarious.
So
But yeah,
now,
but I mean, it was good. I had someone go, it was like, "Oh, it's a vampire movie. What did you expect?" I was like, "Okay, but like, not Nosferatu." And my thing is that usually when I'm watching something, I would like to have the ugly bastard tag on there before I know what I'm getting into.
for, for those not in the know, read more hentai. Culture yourself.
Yeah, you just have to get a little cultured. But yeah,
So, one movie I want to talk about. It's not like last 2 weeks recent, but 2 weeks. No, it's been 3 weeks now. I think releases the statute of limitations. I could talk a little bit about spoilers if you have seen Sonic 3.
I've seen it.
Okay.
I saw it the other day.
So the other day, I guess before some of them went to see it, Mike, Alex, and them, they were watching Sonic 2 like in their Discord before, and I got to watch that again, and I realized how I kind of feel about those movies, and I still I did change my opinion slightly, Griffin. I do like Sonic 3 more than Sonic 2. However, there is one flaw with Sonic 3. Like, I wish the climax included Knuckles and Tails more.
Fair.
Like for
Okay.
for
Yeah.
how good the climax in Sonic 2 was, and like everyone got to do something, like and as cool as like the soundtrack and the DBZ style fighting between Sonic and Shadow was, as cool as just and funny the Eggman stuff was in the climax, there was a point in the movie where for like the last 30 minutes, Tails and Knuckles were just kind of there. And I don't know, I wish they did a little more with that, you know?
To be fair, I feel like Knuckles came in clutch earlier in the film.
Oh,
before
yeah.
the final fight.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that scene was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I also like to destroy national landmarks to break into a top secret organization.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Oh my god, no, Knuckles is fucking great in that movie. I like all his scenes. Like, dude, that whole movie had me like cracking up laughing with like certain things. And all I'm gonna say is that dance scene is probably the single greatest scene that happened last year.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, dude.
And I fucking love that Jim Carrey was like, one, came out of retirement for these movies. Two, was like, I will come back a third time if the script is written in gold. And he came back for the third one. And the fact that Keanu Reeves was like, I'm not gonna do Star Wars. I'm gonna drop Star Wars so I could do Sonic and play as Shadow.
God, I'm glad he did because he was
Me
great in this
too.
movie.
I liked it. What he didn't have a lot of dialogue, but what dialogue he did have was really good.
Yeah.
Except the part where he called Sonic and them slurs. That was kind of weird.
What
I thought that was really out of character,
I was
but
about to
otherwise, yeah.
question. I was
I'm
about,
joking, by the way. He does not say a slur in that movie. Let me just get that out there.
I so I don't know how accurate it is to the games. Like I'm not the biggest expert on Sonic lore. I'm sorry, but it seems like they did fine with the stuff with Maria and Gerald Robotnik and the Shadow and how they kind of their relation with each other. Because I did like really like those flashbacks. I really did like all that stuff.
Uh, so can I say that like I really liked? So I thought it was great that they got Jim Carrey to also do him as well, and he was extremely goofy. But when he got serious,
Oh,
that shocked me. When he got serious in like some of the stuff he said, I was like, oh fuck. Like I
yeah.
believed him on a lot of this stuff. Like I really like the. Can we talk about spoilers? I mean, we did just say that it's okay that we talk
Like
about spoilers for it, right?
let's talk a little bit about spoilers, as long as you don't go too far. It's just some of the stuff like I didn't want to talk about last week, like about the climax, because I feel like that would kind of. I want people to see the movie, so as long as we don't go too far, we can talk a little bit about spoilers.
Okay, 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 okay. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So like, but no, like no, like I like the part where like the really emotional scene that happens with a certain character and he like looks up. I was like, oh shit, like goddamn, okay. Like I didn't think he was like he's a Jim Carrey has a very he's very expressive. Like he does some crazy fucking facial expressions, and that was really good. And then
Yeah.
like I also like dude the fucking scene where he finally like reveals like his like plans and all that stuff to um to robotic, they're both robotic, so it's weird to say well robotic reveals his plans are robotic. Yeah, no one's gonna know what I'm talking about unless you know. But
Yeah.
and then like he said the line is like, oh well you're no Maria, so it was just like fuck dude. I was like way to fucking knock him down and all this. Like I loved like the parts where like he was able to be goofy, but when he got serious, like I believed him too, and that's hard to do.
Oh,
I'll be honest, like that's hard to like be able to juggle both being absolutely silly fucking goofy, and it absolutely was when it starts off, and then whenever he got serious to like also take him seriously too.
yeah. Uh,
And I love that. I think Jim Carrey fucking killed it in that movie in both roles.
oh,
Um
absolutely.
and I think honestly I think Sonic 3 is still my favorite
Yeah.
of the three movies
Yeah.
in just in general.
Yeah.
I
And
think, but I agree with you. Like, I think Sonic 2 had a fucking fantastic little in fight scene, but I think 3 was probably the best so far.
yeah, the climax in two was a little bit better, but on the whole, yeah, three is better. Like it, I'm glad I got my time to clear those thoughts as well because, God, yeah, I know the scene of the heist. Plus, just
Mhm.
the fucking.
Griffin, yeah, I fucking love that. Oh yeah, they, it's canonical. Shadow loves Latinas. Yeah, I fucking love it, dude. Like, there's some like lines like that were said. I was like, I just busted out laughing because I just was not expecting it at all. And you just like, Gabrielle should kill them both. She's not a prize to be won. It's like, yeah. He was taking just God, because I love that they like took like Shadow being edgy and shit. And it was just like, oh yeah, we can still make humor out of this. God, I loved it. It was such a good movie. And I knew I was gonna really like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did
And one thing Griffin
going
pointed out
into
to
it.
me, and it's something I mentioned it last time. There's something that this movie does that not a lot of video game movies do. Like a shocking number of them don't. It's use video game music.
Did they?
Apparently they did. Apparently, Griffin pointed this out.
Because I'm not a Sonic guy,
Yeah,
so but I did hear that like they like that they did, but like I was like I don't recognize any of these songs.
like
But I just assumed it was like if they made it for the movie, it sounds like something I would hear in a game in one of the games, and so I guess I can see that now.
yes, Griffin can confirm. If I remember right, it was basically when they both go super at the end and they're to do the big fight scene in space. Live and Learn. Yep, Live and Learn is the song. That's from the game around the same kind of set piece. And I'm like, the only other time I could think of where a video game movie did something like that was weirdly enough the Mario Brothers movie, and that one it almost feels like kind of cheating because they did it for all like the power ups and they did like the opening and
Uh-huh.
but like it's always a little thing. Just like if people are going to see a video game movie, they want to experience the video game as a movie. So I can only imagine if you're a Sonic fan and you got to like hear Live and Learn, see Sonic and Shadow just going nuts on the screen, it must have been just orgasmic for you. And it wouldn't have been as good if that sound wasn't there. But yeah, it's like I gotta praise the movie for just doing something that seems like a simple thing that most video game movies don't do, you know?
I was pissed that the fucking Mario movie didn't use almost any of their music.
Like the only
Because you know what I think of? You know what I think of when I listen to Mario? I think of Take on Me. That's what I think. I'm sorry. I just have
no,
the Mario movie, I did not enjoy it like everyone else did.
really.
I actually did not enjoy it. It was so illumination pilled that it actually really detracted from the movie for me. I can understand why people liked it, but I was like almost fell asleep during that movie. And then when the fucking scene happened where they're like, all right, let's go let's go on Rainbow Road and all that stuff, and fucking Take on Me starts playing, I'm just like, you have music from an iconic video game.
Yeah.
Use it. And apparently the guy that scored the movie did use like different music cues from the games, but they never fucking put it in there. But you can hear it in the soundtrack.
They could have used the fucking Mario Kart 8 theme for all I care.
Like, fuck, man. But no, they had to be like, no, we're Illumination. We got to have fucking music that you know about. And I was just like, it was groan inducing in some points, but like, no, I'll say Bowser, best part of the movie. Jack Black as Bowser was fucking amazing.
Well, like I said, like part of it feels kind of cheating with the music because the only part that I think of is honestly the end climax, and most of it does come from the superstar. That like, but I feel it's less of a actual game track and more just a game sound. It'd just be weird if it wasn't there. But I get why you say like, because as much as I do like the Mario Bros. Movie, it was sitting at a low bar of video game movies up to that point, to be honest. So I think with Mario, it's just kind of it's not the best movie out there, but it's fun, and I'll watch it to just what because what or other people I know were Sonic kids. I was more of the Mario and just and Pokemon.
I was too.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there and say the Sonic movies were way better than the Mario movie.
Oh, completely agree. Completely agree. Now, I think, in my personal opinion, I think that the first Sonic movie it's a little closer, but no, Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 blow the Mario movie out of the fucking water.
Yeah. And those movies should honestly be like kind of what you need, the kind of the blueprint of like, if you want to make a good video game movie, it's okay to have fan service, but don't make it to the point where it's just like, you remember this?
Yeah.
You remember this? It needs to be like, because like if I would have known Live and Learn was a song from the Sonic games and I heard that playing, you bet my ass I would have lost my fucking shit. Like if they did a proper Resident Evil 5 like movie adaptation and Chris Redfield starts punching the shit out of a boulder, you know I'm gonna jump up my seat and fucking point at the screen and go, that's my fucking dude. You know I'm gonna fucking lose my goddamn mind. But like, yeah, like it's just like But a lot of like, and that's why I think why we're so worried about like those Sony game movies that are going to be coming out is
Mhm.
that it's probably just going to end up being like, remember this?
Remember,
Remember this?
yeah. Uh,
Remember Star Wars?
remember Star Wars? Re- remember the MCU? I
Remember
remember.
this?
Well, I swear, like our '80s horror episode is becoming a video game thing because I feel. Uh, but no, we
Shall we move on?
let's move on a little bit because the main topic of the day is '80s horror. 1980s, the most Kino horror decade. Like there, I said this in the beginning. I'll say it again now. This is going to be a topic that will be revisited because there is too much for such a broad topic as '80s horror.
Yeah,
Like this, it's not going to come back anytime
there's a
soon.
lot.
Yeah, I'm going to take it off the wheel. Like this is probably going to be one that's going to come back multiple times, especially because I'm going to slowly. One thing I'm going to do this year is I'm going to slowly work towards the initial format idea I had for this show, where we take a broader topic and just each person brings in like one or two movies to talk about in detail instead of just gush about like the topic in general. I still want to do that today, but
Uh,
like just to narrow it down, that'll make things more palatable and easier to. But with the '80s, I could tell you movies I like The Thing, The Blob, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is Lex's favorite movie of all time.
oh hell yeah, I bet. I know it's her favorite because I know
But
she hates space.
she hates clowns, but
I know.
but uh, like one thing I do want to highlight for the first outing, there is a documentary film that I backed a bit ago, and you could buy digital versions of this. I knew you were gonna do that, you asshole. Yeah, you're right, Lex. But there's a documentary series called In Search of Darkness that goes over like individual '80s movies and just that decade as a whole better than I ever could. Like seriously, the people that made that documentary are just like all I could do is just pick some of my favorites and talk about them. But I when I post this to YouTube, I'm going to put a link in that description. In fact, if I have the link pulled up. If I could put the link, put it in chat. Will Twitch let me do that?
We'll have to sit down and watch that because I really, really want to watch that.
Each one's like 4 hours long. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a time.
Yeah. No, I'm there for it though.
Okay, yeah, it did let me put the link in the chat. That basically links to Creator VC, where you could still buy the digital versions of the trilogy, which all three together are 14 plus hours. So, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And they didn't do just that. Because they did do so much, they have a new one that's coming out. It's just In Search of Darkness 1990 through 1994. They have In Search of Tomorrow, which is '80s sci-fi, which I have not watched yet, and I have the Blu-ray just sitting on my fucking dresser, and I'm probably gonna
Hell yeah.
and I'm deciding like no, once we get off this horror kick with this week, whatever the thing is next time, I'm gonna watch the sci-fi one because like '80s sci-fi is more my jam than '80s horror, though
Uh-huh.
though '80s horror though like there's some good stuff. Like what are you some
Like
of
you
your
said, 80's was fucking Kino, man.
yeah
Absolute Kino. I
like
mean, it probably like that was just our fucking how our taste in movies probably like came from.
Oh, absolutely. I, part of it is during the '80s, like there was a lot of experimentation going on, a lot of practical effects, a lot of just people had to be more creative.
Because they were able to get away with it.
Yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, one of the most famous like effects artists of the time is a guy named Screaming Mad George. That is his moniker. I think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
He did
I know
I know he's done a lot of stuff
he did
because I know that
Society.
name.
No, yes. What did he do? He's done a lot. Let me look him up real quick. Screaming Mad George. I I love I love the icon on his website. Good God. Yes, I know he did Society. He did the effects for Guyver. Uh,
Uh-huh.
he did the all the grotesque effects in Big Trouble in Little China. The Reanimator. What the fuck?
He's got quite a bit of a
Yeah,
filmography going on.
yeah, he do. Oh yeah, he did Nightmare on Elm Street 4. He did Predator. He was part of the crew in Predator. What the fuck? He did some of the makeup in Spaceballs. Fuck yeah.
Yo, let's go.
No, like uh this was just an era just where you could get away with anything, and because everyone was willing to try and there was much less limitations,
Uh
a lot of the movies were better. And I I always hate I hate that I am becoming the back in my day boomer. But I do feel it is true to a point that each decade was better at doing something than every other decade. 80's was better at like horror and just all these experimental films because there was no limitations, and everyone, all the directors, all the effects crews were all like, let's fucking go. That's what gave us things like the Thing and the Blob, which are two of my favorites. Like, if I were to say what the 90's did right, honestly, like more local like dramas and comedies, like stoner comedies and family films, were I think the 90's
yeah.
excelled at.
Uh-huh.
But is it each era's got its thing, and the 80's was horror, man. Like
Yeah.
there's it had some good stuff from other genres, but man, if you want to see the best the 80's had to offer, you got to go to horror. Like, what are some of your favorite movies?
Horror wise, you named like two of them. You know, obviously The Thing. I was actually thinking like last night. I was like, oh yeah, The Blob's fucking fantastic. One of the best remakes. I mean, technically, The Thing and the Blob are like two remakes.
Yeah,
Um, what else we got? Obviously, a lot of John Carpenter movies in the '80s really slapped. Prince of Darkness is one that kind of resonated with me as a because it was one of those movies I again should not have watched as young as I was. That movie kind of stuck with me. And you've seen Prince of Darkness, right? The one with like the fucking like liquid devil. It was fucking weird. Like, you know, looking back on it, it's like it's probably not the best movie ever, but like
no,
it's like pure John Carpenter.
no,
Essentially, these guys find like
but it sticks with you.
fucking,
Like everything is
it stuck with me because there's a lot of visuals. Because again, practical effects, man, a lot of visuals in that movie freaked me the fuck out.
yeah.
And it was some good fucking visuals. What are some other ones that usually
Like I don't know if I'd call this a horror. This seems to come up like a lot. I guess technically it's horror comedy, but I always feel weird calling it a horror. A Little Shop of Horrors.
you could say it's horror adjacent.
Yeah, like that's what I say. It's horror adjacent, but to me it is more of a musical comedy. But
Uh-huh.
although that being said, I do stand by it. A Little Shop of Horrors, the best. Like the true ending is not the one we got on TV. The happy ending is not the true ending. If you know, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. If you want to enjoy Little Shop of Horrors, you got to watch the true ending.
You gotta watch the real ending. You gotta unlock the real ending. You gotta play on hard if you want to watch the real ending.
You gotta watch Little Shop of Horrors on hard mode.
On hard mode, which is VHS that's been rewound 3,000 times.
There's so many movies that came out in the 80's. I can't even.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist
is a great one. Poltergeist is good.
Creep Show.
Hellraiser. Creep Show. Creep Show. I wish more movies would start adopting like because I know Creep Show was based off like a comic book series, right?
Yeah.
And they really showed that off with like a lot of the crazy lighting and shots that they would do in that movie.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. I was like, it's comes off as cheesy for some. I think it's fucking stylistic as fuck.
Yeah, I love Creepshow. I wish more movies did anthology stuff. That's kind of why I'm sad I completely went unaware of VHS until fairly recently, and why I need to watch those movies. Like I love Creepshow, I love Trick or Treat. I feel like I'm gonna love VHS, like just all those movies. So I, but yeah, no, the stylized man. If you want to make a comic book movie, see Creepshow because that is just a comic book on the screen, like in its purest form. Which that's actually weird now that I'm thinking about it. We've had like 2 decades now, I feel, of just the MCU, and the most comic book movie is probably the horror movie from the 80s. Oh, Kittyman disconnected. Oh no. Kittyman, Kittyman, where are you? Are you there?
I think I'm here now. I lost like you just would go.
Oh, e, oh, e.
Yeah, no, straight up. It was just like, am I losing you? Oh god! But then like you were talking just fine on this thing, and I was like, oh fuck,
Okay,
I'm losing him.
so you heard
But
what I
yeah,
said about Creepshow being the weirdly the most accurate comic book movie, despite 2 decades of MCU.
yes, no, I would agree. Just purely based on like how the visuals are and how unapologetic it is.
Yeah. What I really love about the 80s is like because there is so much and most of it is good, a vast majority of these movies you could like reasonably label as just hidden gems. Because I'm looking through all these movies, it's like oh Leviathan. It's literally just a thing underwater, but damn it, it's a good fucking movie.
Which one?
Leviathan. Which that one I have. I could do a watch party for that one day. That one's not terrible.
I am not aware.
It has
I've
the
never heard of this movie actually.
who's the guy? He was in Home Alone. He was one of the Wet Bandits. He was the taller one. That actor. He's in it. Which seeing him in a horror movie is
Okay.
fun. See here.
I've never heard of this movie somehow.
Oh yeah, when I
Yeah.
so
There's some good actors in here too.
yeah, like when I was before I moved to Texas and a little bit after, but there was a good like solid decade of my life where I would go out of my way to go to like Blockbuster or go to Walmart and just or just look up on the internet all of these new movies and just based off of just creature designs or just what looks kind of cool, what looks kind of gnarly. And I just the box I saw for Leviathan, I got to see this glimpse of the weird creature, so I watched it in like high school, and I was like, "Damn, this is weird." But no, I went through a lot of these like 80s movies and some other ones from like the 70s and 90s just based off of that. So that's kind of what really helped establish my preference for I love creature effects. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
We
Leviathan
gotta appreciate him, especially because 80's gave us some fucking fantastic creature effects, and it's just kind of a lost art now.
it is. It does make me sad. I to an extent I think the general love of the 80s has kind of lended itself to this antagonistic approach people have to, or it has an antagonistic view people have of CGI in movies. CGI in movies is not inherently bad. Like, it can be
No.
good. Like, for God's sakes, Sonic 3. It's not like high quality CG, but damn, it was that good CG to watch. I love it.
Yeah.
Sonic 3 was the best Dragon Ball Z movie today.
Yeah.
But there is this feeling again whenever you actually see this stuff in front of you, like see like these makeup effects, see like these cool creature designs. We know like this stuff is fake, but like take for instance the Blob. The fact that they actually had this big giant mass writhing and floating around added so much more weight to the just the atmosphere and everything about why you should be scared of this fucking thing.
Cause like because it's palpable.
Yeah. Like the actors can interact with it. Like and you can actually
Yeah.
see them interact with it. And if the people on screen can't interact with each other, like the suspension of disbelief starts to fade. Like, yeah,
And
I,
it's just, these days, like, you'll have, if there's like an actor that's supposed to be like a CG monster or whatever, they'll usually have like something to reference, like where, a point where to look at and all that stuff. But, for the most part, it's not like actually having this thing that someone made in front of you. Yeah, writhing and like licking you and all that shit. And you can fucking act around that. And it's just like, you don't see that anymore.
yeah.
And it's really, I mean, other than like was it like Smile or something like that.
Oh, dude,
Um,
dude, like,
and you're only gonna really see some of that stuff probably in indie movies nowadays. You're not gonna see
yeah,
that in a big budget movie anymore.
yeah,
I mean,
like,
every once in a while you'll see like some really cool stuff. Um, I mean, I was really impressed that like some of the there's a couple of times in like the MCU movies were doing a lot of like really cool practical stuff. Star Wars would do it every once in a while too.
yeah.
Um, but otherwise, it's like you're really not going to see that in anything else. They're just be like, nah, CG that shit, get out of here.
Um, I think more days they'd focus not so much on like all these weird creative monster designs, but actually makeup. I want to back up a little bit for something recent I watched for an example. But last time me and Mike talked about a movie called Red One, and there is a segment of that movie that I love. I don't know if you have you seen Red One yet?
No, not yet. That's the Christmas one, right?
Yeah, there's a segment where they go to Krampus's castle, but like every single character, they give them like full body makeup. Like everyone gets like full body makeup, and everyone like looks like this
Yo,
weird, unique monster. Krampus looks great. Like if you want to see
that's
like
awesome.
good modern effects and how this stuff can be applied in modern times, watch Red One if only for the Krampus segment. Red One on the whole, it's good. It's just not that good. Like there's actually some times where like some of the actors are giving like 150% in that movie, and I'm like, bro, chill. You're in Red One.
Right? It's just like, hold on. What are we doing here? Because like that's way too cool for this kind of movie.
Yeah, but I like it. I hope that that's those kind of effects come back in a proper way, and I think the modern way to do it is less about these big grotesque monsters. So we're probably not going to see something like the plan from Little Shop of Horrors or the big fucking Cthulhu Lovecraftian creature from like the Gate or from Beyond.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to see stuff like that, but we are going to see we are there is a good chance we'll still see like prosthetics from this era, like just based off of Red One, and I'm all for that. But again,
Uh,
but man, I keep looking through like some of the. You know what actually was really a strong point of the 80's? Even with the effects are bad, even with the designs are goofy, like it kind of worked in its favor because
uh, yeah.
like I think one example of this is fucking Ghoulies. Ever seen that weird ass fucking movie?
Um, no, I've never seen this little small Shrek in the toilet.
Dude, it you now know everything you need to know about that movie. Like look the images of what some of the ghoulies look like. They're literally just demons that they come from the toilet. That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
it's on Tubi. Maybe I'll have to watch that at some point.
Oh yeah, no, the movie is dumb, but because like these things look so weird, so goofy, and it's so dumb. Like they tried to do something serious with the first Ghoulies, but they quickly realized, nah, this is stupid. What are we gonna do for Ghoulies 2? They're in the fucking circus. Fight use a there's a clown with a Molotov. Let's fucking go.
All right, we'll roll with it.
Like
And you could do stuff like that
yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, like if the creature effects are a little goofy and people are more laughing at it, it was much easier for the filmmaker to like the next year pivot and say like, I guess we're making more of a horror comedy or something a little more lighthearted. Let's go, let's go, let's shift gears a little bit. Like it,
No, let's fucking go.
things were more open and it was easier back then. And nowadays, love it or hate it, there's been some good movies because of it, but modern stuff, yeah, studios have their hands in a lot more things nowadays, for better and for worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, kind of a almost. I guess you can argue it's kind of almost a lost art when it comes to the practicality of certain things,
I think part of it
like
is,
practical effects.
yeah, I think part of it is kind of tied to the film industry as a whole. I think for several decades, probably up to the turn of the millennium, maybe a little bit in the '90s, up to that point, films were just seen as, okay, here's some money and make at least this much back. Cool. And when not that, it was just passion projects. So that's why even now, like even modern kids will look back on and look at some of these movies from like the '80s, '90s, and whatnot, and be like, "Damn, these are fucking great ass movies. What the fuck?"
Yeah, because they fucking cared. It wasn't about like
Yeah,
making like obviously you want to make some money off it. That'd be cool, but for a lot of people, it's like, dude, I just want to make a fucking movie.
yeah,
I want to make my movie.
yeah. Nowadays, the people who are have that mindset are the independent creators, are like the like A24 seems to be going down that path. And while, like, even though I don't like all A24 films,
Uh huh.
I think they are the
You appreciate
closest.
what they do.
I appreciate what they do, and I have to credit where credit's due. A24 is doing the Lord's work of just keeping things just for, like, letting the creators do their thing, letting let people experiment.
Uh
Like,
huh.
I wish more studios did that, and because studios doing that is what got us the monolith that is the '80s in terms of horror.
Yeah, being able to kind of just do whatever they want, and they're also limited essentially like with what they can do because like they also didn't have crazy CG like they do nowadays. They were basically limited by the practical effects that they can do, which is like because since we talked about Little Shop of Horrors,
Mm-hmm.
I like the little bit of tidbit of information that I learned that whenever uh Audrey was like talking or moving and all that stuff, it because it was such a massive thing, like they didn't have technically the technology to actually have something that big move as fast as they want it to. They had to speed up the footage. So whenever like when Rick Moranis was on screen and like talking to it and doing things on screen, he in real time was moving at like half speed and
Oh,
acting and talking and singing. And so when they sped it up, he did a really good. You couldn't tell. You did a really good job. But
Rick
yeah, no, I
Moranis is
found
a
that
good
out
actor.
about that where I was just like, that is actually fucking crazy that they had to do it. Like all the limit. I feel like the limitation, and I say that like it's a hot take. Limitation does breed creativity,
Yeah.
and they in the '80s was absolutely one of those eras where that couldn't be any more apparent when it comes to stuff like that. Like all the creative ways they had to be able to show off their art is extremely impressive. And like and it's little tidbits of info like that really makes me appreciate um appreciate that kind of stuff.
And nowadays there are limitations, but like, the workarounds for the limitations aren't always the best. There is a lot of free and cheap computer programs. It's also probably why people don't like
Yeah.
CG. Um, but whereas in the '80s, where people say, "Hey, we need to make this little furball," like in Critters, like let's say Critters, "Oh, we need to make this little furball go from there to there." Well, let's fucking launch it, man. Build this thing. So launch the furball. Great shot. Versus
Literally launch them.
literally launch him. Build this thing out of like wood scrap and just fucking nitrous and just shoot that motherfucker. All right.
Yeah.
If this was made nowadays, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Just fucking flash animation. but just
Yeah. It's literally like, yeah, just that easy.
yeah. So it
Just to be kind of like, oh, literally the fix it and post
yeah.
joke is a little more true to life than we realize.
Yeah. A lot of things can be fixed in post, but it if if we learn anything from the 80s, if you don't like put in that love to each every little effect, every little thing you do, it's not going to come through the fans no matter how much you do in post. Like, and hell, the movies that are popular nowadays exemplify that. Uh, fucking Smile, fucking Terrifier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I'll ever watch the Terrifier movies, you know how I every time I learn something about the movies, you know how much shit they actually do in terms of just like blood and gore and just how much the shit the actors go through to get the right shot.
Oh
And
yeah, the amount of practicality in the Terrifier movies was really impressive.
you know, I respect. Like I totally understand why those are popular. And the problem is people are going to see that at certain studios and they're going to get the wrong fucking idea. They're probably going to see that and go like, "Oh, I guess people like killer clowns. Or we're going to get some more fucking clown movies. Probably a
Yeah.
documentary about John Wayne Gacy or some shit." But you know it's true.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I'm not even arguing. It's funny.
Like in reality, it's never about the subject because you could make a film about anything. Like there is no 80s movie that is the same as the one next to it. Like, oh, here we have American Werewolf in London about a werewolf in London. Here we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Little Shop of Horrors, Lost Boys, Aliens. Like everything is about something else in a different setting. Like you have the Blob in a small town, an alligator in a big city. Like everything is different enough. It's never about a consistent subject. It's just about the genre and how much we can get creative and push it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, let creators have fun. Let creators go nuts because that is like how you let stir that together. Let that cook because that is how you get these icons. That is how you get like your Jason Voorhees and your Freddy Kruegers.
Yeah.
Like
And
let
I think eventually, like these things will, like this modern, like they're modern, so it's like you don't even think like you wouldn't sit there and think that like, oh, these aren't going to be iconic one day or anything like that. But like there's a chance one day they could end up being iconic, because I mean I'm sure at the time, like, you don't think like Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees and all that stuff was, maybe
for,
they thought that that was like the biggest thing ever.
for sure. And as
Of course, I
far
didn't live during that time. I maybe it was probably the hugest thing ever, and that's why they got so many fucking sequels of varying quality.
yeah, and for what we know, that some things that are popular now might not be the next big thing. We have the advantage of being able to look at history. That's why I do think like Art the Clown, Megan the Spile Monster, I think those are like the current horror icons. I thought the Babadook was going to be one, to be perfectly frank, but I've apparently been proven wrong about that because it's kind of a one off.
Yeah, apparently that wasn't. I remember that movie. A lot of people liking it, but I never. I don't think everyone really talks about it.
Yeah,
You're right. Like I forgot that existed until you brought that up. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened. That was like,
yeah,
God, when did that movie come out? Was it 10 years now?
something like that. Babadook.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, goddamn. The recent horror film. It's like I'm gonna look up some recent horror films, see if there's any modern examples of something close to what we get. Like Barbarian, actually, yeah. Well, actually, that's another thing. A lot of horror movies go for one-offs and instead of sequels, and
As it should be.
yeah, and those are the ones
Because that
that
was really popular back in the day. It was like the final like shot of a movie being like, "Oh, but he was still alive!" Whoa, and then,
yeah,
like, yeah, that's. Whereas, like, yeah, these movies are like, "No, I want to tell a story. I don't think there needs to be a sequel for it." And there we go.
yeah. Like, because nowadays you have apparently ones that have been I've heard good things about. You have Abigail, Trap. Let's see what else we got. I've heard mixed things about The Crow.
The new one?
Yeah, I'm being a little bit
Yeah.
nice, but
Yeah, right.
barbarian people rave about. I for good fucking reason. Crazy fucking
I enjoyed
movie.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, see one that I know I need to watch called Sting because I'm very weirdly particular about spider movies, and I blame my friend Matt for this because he pointed something out about spider movies, and I'm just it's hard for me to really think of spider as scary unless it follows something very specific. Just don't make sounds.
You. It follows you.
Yeah, no, like this. All you have to
No.
do, like arachnophobia got it right, and certain like horror shorts got it right. If you want to make a spider scary, it doesn't make sound. It's just there waiting to hunt. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Spiders are freaky, dude.
spiders are freaky. You know, there's a lot there. There's one that came out called Mr. Crockett. Have you seen the advertising for that?
No, I have not.
Look up
What
the
is that?
advertising. I avoided it because when I saw the advertising, my only thought is, "Oh, this is made for the game theory crowd." But like that's the vibe I get.
Interesting. I've never seen this before.
It's
Oh, it's on Hulu? Huh.
it's on Hulu. I don't know. I might watch it. It doesn't look bad. It's just like I don't know. But I guess to go back to the '80s, the ultimate point I really wanted to make today when we talk about '80s is it's known as the best decade for a reason. Like you can there's so many good movies. If I had just a fucking bucket full of like movies from the '80s, like I had a list full of titles, I could just pick a random one out, and there's like a 99% chance that it's gonna be a good fucking movie.
Yeah, you're in for a good time
Yeah,
because there's a genuine love for the film and what's being made behind it, and not just this idea of like this needs to be made for a profit.
like either you're gonna
Like we're
get
making it because I want to make it
yeah,
kind of thing.
either you're gonna get something that is just timeless and a classic like Friday the 13th, or you're gonna get something that's just campy, batshit and fun like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Like
Mm-hmm.
it could be like objectively bad, but still it's so fun and so creative you don't care.
Yeah, because there it was made with like again like with a genuine love for filmmaking. Like it was they were just like, dude, I really want to make this, and I really want to make something cool with this. Like it was just like and that's really why film is just such a fun art form.
Ah,
And the 80s definitely just really pushes it pushed that, you know, and it was unapologetic. It was very much like, you know, it wore itself on its sleeve. And if it wasn't for a lot of those movies, like I probably wouldn't have the taste in movies like I did. I probably would be very much like, oh, you know, every movie needs to be super. I'd probably be like, I gotta watch a fucking art film if to enjoy something like that. Whereas like I think the 80s movies definitely showed me that I could like what is entertaining doesn't have to be serious or have a high budget. It could also be, yeah, no, the filmmakers loved it, loved making it, I should say. And we're trying to do something with it. And we're just like, hey, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, well, it wasn't for you. And I think that really made me who I am when it comes to films in terms of enjoying them.
yeah.
Of course, then every once in a while I'll sit there and say fucking Venom shit or something like that, and I get people get mad at me, and then people get mad at me.
Oh,
But
people, everyone disagrees about everything. It's fine.
everyone disliked that. But I'm also one of those people that I'm just like, hey man, you know, if you liked it, hell yeah, dude. I didn't, and I'm sorry.
Hell yeah. But
But the 80s very much like push that. You take, you know, The Thing is very much a movie that's like you got to take it seriously. It's very much a movie that isn't like cheesy, I should say. Like it's not that cheesy 80s. But like you said, it's not. But then you have the other side of the spectrum where you have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, where it's like this is stupid, but God, is it fun and entertaining, and they know
Yeah.
what they're making.
Well, if you were to, I guess, to close us off from that, if you were to recommend a movie or two just from the '80s that you think now people have to see this or people have to see these two movies or so, is there anything you would just immediately recommend
In terms of horror, or just in
in
general?
terms of horror?
In terms of horror, The Thing, 100% is definitely one you got to watch. The Lost Boys, I forgot that's an 80s movie. It's a good, great vampire
Hell
movie.
yeah, Lost Boys is
Um,
fucking classic.
Hellraiser, like, and Hellraiser, and Hellraiser is another one you could talk about too, where it's just like making violence beautiful. I
Yeah,
guess you can say they made it very artistic.
there is not many
Um,
movies like Hellraiser. Such a unique one.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, Nightmare on Elm Street is a classic one too. Um, oh, you could also say Evil Dead.
Evil
Evil Dead
Dead,
for sure.
Evil Dead,
Evil Dead 1 and 2 are both, yeah, I guess would be both considered 80s horror movie. Well, I guess they're in the 80s.
yeah.
Um, and I would say those are kind of like very much like definitive
Like you touched on most of the
horror
definitive
movies.
ones that I would
Oh, and
recommend.
Aliens.
Aliens, yeah, there it is.
Aliens is one.
Yep.
Even though it's more action, it's definitely still, I think
Oh,
the
there's
action horror
plenty of
aspect of it
horror
is
in
still, oh
Aliens.
yeah, for sure. And Poltergeist
Yeah, I'm gonna
would be my list.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Poltergeist because I remember that movie scared me as a kid. I don't remember why. So I'm gonna have
It
to.
was the sing scene, wasn't it? Because the sing scene freaked me the fuck out.
It probably was. I have to rewatch it to like remember and then give myself nightmares. Like if I were to recommend Creep Show, like I was also gonna recommend the thing you recommended that Creep Show for
There you go.
sure. Like that one's such because it's an anthology, it has all these advantage, and of course Little Shop of Horrors. Um, I guess if I were to recommend one more, because you touched on a lot of good ones. If I were to recommend one more, look through a list here. What's a good just out there? Oh, House.
Oh, the Japanese one?
Not not the Japanese one. There's one from the '80s in America called House. That's fucking wild. But also yes, the Japanese one.
I think that one's I think that was a 70s one. I think you mentioned that because I think House is one that I didn't actually get a chance to watch, but you're like, you need to go watch that one because that's
it's
a
good.
classic.
It's good, but it's like weird and out there. Oh, when did Dead Alive come out? Is that '80s? No, that was
I think that's
'90s.
actually early 90s. I think that
Yep,
was like 1992.
yep, that's '92. Yep, I would have totally recommended that. I could
Yeah. Oh,
because
for sure.
God, I love that movie. But
Oh, and for zombie movies, either Return of the Living Dead if you want something more lighthearted and fun, or Day of the Dead.
hell yeah, there's a lot. There's you could go down the list, and if you're watching on
There's some
YouTube,
great ones.
put some of your favorites on the comments. If you're watching on the YouTubes, but yeah,
Unless it's bad, in which case I don't want to fucking read it.
yeah.
No, no, no. You can all have your opinions on it. I don't mind.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to close us off there. Thank you for being here, Kitty Man, to gush about '80s horror.
Of course, of course. I was really excited when you were like, "Hey, by the way, we rolled this one." I'm like, "Fuck, we get in on this."
Yes. Uh, now, I guess to go over straight to our event of the evening, the wheel. Oh, hold on. It is. Eh,
Wheel of Fortune.
gotta line it up. Good enough. All right. It's not being It's not being perfect. What if I do this? Aha! There we go. That's better. All right. Now, so for the topics today, um, I have guilty pleasures, musicals. What the fuck did I just watch? hand-drawn Disney films based on a true story, sequels, and just because I saw a topic similar to this in my Discord feed, I thought I'd broaden it a little bit. Crossovers, and
Okay, I like that one. That's a good one.
and and this I mean like crossovers between franchises that may not have happened. You can talk about Charles Band, Alien versus Predator, maybe even talk about some of our dream crossovers. Who knows? And the other one is the guest decides, which I normally reserve for our guests, but I'll give you that honor today, Kitty Man. Basically, if it lands there, all of the other 7 ones you get to pick what our next topic is.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let us
Let's
spin
spin that
the
bad boy.
wheel. I do love the fuck from one extreme to the other.
Musicals!
Musicals. All right.
Let's talk about 80s horror. All right, next week we're talking about musicals.
So Little Shop of Horrors.
Right. We got 2 of those.
Oh fuck. I'm gonna have to. There's like 2 I'm gonna have to rewatch. There. Okay. I will go into detail next time, but there is some old ones that I'm sure a lot of people watched in like elementary school, middle school, just that I want to rewatch because I remember them. No, these aren't terrible. Like legitimately, like Sound of Music, The Music Man. I kind of want to rewatch those just to get it.
I think musicals are some of the most overhated genres when it comes to movies.
Yeah,
And I don't understand why people don't like them.
I don't know. I'm a sucker.
There's quite a few musicals I like, but we could probably say that for the next time.
Yeah, we'll save it for next time. And if you're able to join us next time, this reserve seat's been pretty vacant for a while. I'm gonna try to get a third person in here, see if we can get 3 people to gush about musicals for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Because we've had 2 people for a while now, and I don't know. I like having a third person in here to maybe tell us we're both wrong, tell us we're both assholes. No.
You're both wrong. And that's why they weren't a guest again. Anyway.
But yes, thank you all for watching. We will revisit 80s horror, but next time we do, we're probably going to do things a little more specific. Like let's talk about the Friday movies. Let's talk about it. Like just it will be a topic that will be revisited in some capacity. Like it's too broad, it's too big, and if you want anyone to explore it as good as possible, again, I put the link earlier in the chat. I'm going to put it in the video below if you're watching on YouTube. In Search of Darkness is by far like the best 80s documentary I have ever seen. Like, these people are great. So, so let's celebrate the 80s. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yeah, bye-bye.